Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing really good. I decided to take another night off last night, partly because my sugar still kept doing nose dives again. And I'm like, okay, I got to get this straightened around. I can't be out on the road with sugars in the 50s. It's like, yeah, I can't do that, especially if they just keep plummeting. So, like they have been. So I'm like, no, let's just take another night off. And then I got extremely hungry, starving. So I ate a little bit early, and hopefully, maybe things are starting to get straightened back around. I'm just taking it as spirit. I know my eyes are kind of funky. I'm just taking it as spirit to tell me, no, don't go out there, just trust, so on and so forth. And I know. I keep poking at myself here. It's like, okay, I see a little hair right here. My eyes are funky. Anyway, so yeah, I'm kind of taking everything as that. And, all right, hopefully, maybe we can get this last. There we go. Love me, love my cat. That's basically what it boils down to. I know, and I'm seeing everything with wearing a black shirt today. It's like, okay. But anyway. Um, so yeah, and I just took it easy last night. No cooking, no baking or anything, just leftovers, so on and so forth. So, and speaking of divine right timing, I finally found my candle in my lighter, so I can do a tarot reading for myself. Definitely getting called for that today, so I'm going to see about doing that after I get done eating. I figured it'd be a good idea. Kind of kill two birds with one stone. Seems to be that my low sugars keep happening right after I get done eating, and that's been another issue as well. I don't want to pop in any glucose tabs into me because I just ate. So it's like, for whatever reason, it's taken a little bit of time for my food to digest and get into the system. And in the meantime, the insulin, of course, that gets ejected directly into the bloodstream, and it's just bam, yeah, really kicking in. So yeah, it's in the meantime, until the food digests, it's kind of making me really funky with my diabetes. Um, and for those of you who don't know, I am a type 1. For those of you just joining, welcome first. Yeah, I was actually diagnosed a type 1 diabetic last year, late stage. I'm actually going to be 50 next month. Next month, yeah. 11/11 next month, 50, the half century mark. Yay! See, I've never been somebody who's just been all, ooh, about age or anything. I consider them to be, um, what are those chevron marks? It's like, all right, leveling up, like video games, it's like, all right, we've made it to this level. Yay! Proud of you. That's the way I always look at it. So, yeah, and I'm not really very vain or anything. Yeah, I do mess with my hair a little bit or whatever, but as far as all the grays that are popping into my hair and so forth, I've actually had gray hair since I was 9. I had a little spot back here that, so yeah, and don't get me wrong, yeah, every once in a while when I see a gray hair that has come out, it's kind of like, oh, I lost one. Oh, great, now I get 10 more in its place. Yeah, just a little hair. Speaking of hair, one that was just kept floating. One of the little possum's hairs just kept floating on the screen there. So, but anyway, so yeah, that's kind of. I know my mom. She always actually had to dye her hair because otherwise her hair would get horribly dried out. And icky and so forth. So she was somebody, she had weird hair. She always had to dye her hair. And she was always like, yeah, when you get older, you start getting those grays, you're going to start dying and everything. I'm like, no, because I've never really been a vain person. I've never really been, yeah, I tried makeup, and or whatever. It's just not me. I've always been too much of a tomboy. And but yeah, that and as far as clothes are concerned, yeah, don't get me wrong, I like to dress up or whatever. Don't get me wrong, I like to do my hair, especially if like if I'm going out on a date or something. Okay, I have to laugh at that because I don't really date anymore. Um, Not that I wouldn't like to or whatever. I don't know. I haven't really found anybody who that I've really connected up with enough to really bother to go out on a date or whatever. Um, or if I have, or put it this way, I think I have, but too many games. I'm done with games. I'm done with non-communication. I'm done with um, feeling like I can't assert my own boundaries. I'm done with um, all that nervousness. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with all of that. I want to be able to just sit down and talk to somebody. That's what it's like. Just accept me for who I am. Get to know somebody. I'm not somebody who, I know I don't understand this one. You go out on a date or whatever, and the very first date that you go on is to go see a movie. How are you getting to know each other while sitting in a movie? Okay, I get it. You get to know what sort of, that sort of personality with somebody or whatever. I do get that. But I'm somebody who's more into the deep conversations. I really want to be able to dive deep into somebody. I don't much care about who is up on the stupid screen, okay? I'm somebody who wants to be able to sit down and have a real conversation. That is the sort of person that I am. None of this of, oh, we're going to be texting each other or DMing each other. None of that crap. It makes, I mean, I get it to maybe help break the ice or what have you. But in the long run, I want to sit down and have a conversation with somebody. I want to be able to get to know somebody, not just through conversation, but also with the energy exchange. I'm not talking about sex. I'm talking about body language. Feeling each other's energies. Things like that. All of the games of especially like when you're texting with each other or DMing with each other or whatever, and because unfortunately when it comes to that, there's going to be big time miscommunication because things can wind up being misinterpreted. Somebody can say something or whatever, and then next thing you know it, they're blocking you. You say something, and it's completely innocent or whatever, and the person is blocking you, and so on and so forth, and you're left wondering, what the fuck? What the hell happened? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so what? All right, you posted a picture or whatever that's a beautiful scenery, and you make the comment, oh, that's that would make for beautiful wedding venues or whatever, and then next thing you know it, the person's flying off the handle blocking you and shit, and it's like, no, you're just making a comment that it's a beautiful wedding venue. Maybe if they'd strung some lights and some white sheets, or not sheets, but fabric, silk fabrics, and so on and so forth. And next, and that's all it boils down to. And yet the person is jumping off a cliff, blocking you and shit, and you're just kind of like, what the hell happened here? You know what I mean? I know that's why, I get those requests every once in a while. This is kind of stemming from, um, uh, um, I get those requests all the time on my private account of guys, wanting to connect up with me, and it basically, like on Instagram, basically, and they're just wanting, they're trying to use like Instagram, Facebook, so on and so forth, as dating sites, and they're just um, and every once in a while maybe I might, or whatever. For the most part I don't, so don't bother. But they it, it's I'm sorry, it's not a dating site. Okay, if you want to do a dating site, go to a dating site, like Match.com or whatever is out there. I have no idea anymore. But yeah, and if you do connect up with somebody, even if it's just an innocent sort of thing, like I might get it, like a spiritual site or whatever. They might do a request or whatever. Of course, for the most part, those ones I'm usually going to say yes to. But then come to find out, oops, I made a mistake, and oh, it might be, they might do a post or whatever, and then next thing know it, that somebody's flying off the handle. And anyway, I know what I'm trying to say here. I hope you all get it too. But yeah, that's what I mean, things wind up just being misinterpreted, like with texting and DMing, or if you're making comments on posts or whatever. Whereas if you sit down and have a conversation with somebody, you're able to read each other, not just with body language, but also reading each other's energy and so forth, and then and things can be explained a lot better, and everything. So yeah, it's like, and after a while, with doing that and everything, I feel like it's more of a game, because you're using that as a shield to be able to block somebody from really being able to get to know you, which of course is scary, because it exposes your vulnerability. It makes you vulnerable, and you need to, at some point though, you're gonna have to let your guard down and let somebody in. And I know that's scary, but at some point you have to. It's, if things are vibing through through a screen, then at some point there's going to have to be some sort of connection. That's what I'm trying to say. And you're going to have to let that guard down and let them actually see you for who you are. No hiding behind the screens, no hiding behind other people in your life. No, whether it's your children, trying to, I've seen it where people try and use their children as a shield as well. Um, where it's like, oh, and I get it, love me, love my child, love me, love my cat, love me, love my dog, all that sort of stuff. I get all of that. But at the same point, I've seen people who will try and use them as a shield as well. And you can't keep hiding behind people or things. At some point, you've got to put yourself out there and have that one-on-one interaction. Yeah, we've all been hurt. We all have pasts. Um, Unless you were drop down here on the face of this planet. That's probably one of the things that irked, irked me the most when I was trying to do the online dating thing, are people. And I'm going to say people. And don't get me wrong, I'm not bi. I'm not a lesbian. I love guys. I love men. Okay. I'm straight as straight can be. Don't get me wrong. I think that women have beautiful bodies, and so on. Yeah, I look at women. Heck, I'm human. And yeah, I do love strip clubs. I think that that energy helps rev you up, helps get you going. Um, but the thought of with a woman turns me off completely. If I'm going to play with somebody else's, I might also play with my own. That's the way I look at it. I had no idea I was going to do this video. I never knew what I'm going to do these videos about. But yeah, this one is just really coming out. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say here. Uh, but anyway, yeah, don't get me wrong. I look as well. Okay, I'm human. I've got biological needs just as much as anybody else. But it's what I'm trying to say is that when I was up on the um, online dating sites or what have you, the one and I was perusing through guys' profiles and so forth. Number one thing that irked me the most with every single one of them that I would see is them saying no baggage. Well, guess what, buddy? You've got baggage just as much as I do. Because unless, like I said, unless you were dropped down here onto this planet as you are, with absolutely no past, you've got baggage. You've got a past as well. We've all been down the roads. We've all been hurt. We've all had bad relationships, whether it's lovers, friends, family, what combinations. We've all had combinations of all of those sorts of relationships at some point or another. Unless you are a miracle and have never had a bad relationship, and I'm talking about love relationship before in your life, I'm sorry, but I don't buy it. And if you are somebody who is just dropped down here on the face of the planet, you're somebody I really don't want to be around because you've got no depth. You're a very shallow person. And who wants to be with a shallow person? I sure as hell don't. I want to get to know, I want to be with somebody who has shared experiences. So because that is what helps with the connection. That is who you truly are. And it helps with connection, and it helps form that bond because you can relate to each other. Got it? And that's where the true conversations come in. And that's where trust comes in, respect, and helps form love. Yeah. So, wow, I know. No idea where that came from. Well, actually, I do. Kind of stems a little bit from yesterday. So, anyway, yeah, things to think about, especially when you are looking for a relationship. We all want love. We all want to have that connection with somebody. We all want to feel validated. And in order to feel validated, you have to actually connect and have those true deep conversations. It isn't, love isn't just about shared interests, shared values. love isn't just super love isn't superficial. Love is what's really deep inside. And unfortunately, see it quite a lot. I mean, we really do see it quite a lot, unfortunately. And part of it is because nobody takes those deep dives to really get to know their partners. They see a facade. They basically chasing the illusion, the delusion of what we imagine this what this person is possibly, instead of what the person might act is what the person actually is. And part of it is because people don't take the time to actually really get to know each other. They might do the online thing like this, but really, when it comes right down to it, they don't really connect and really take opportunity to get to know each other. So next thing you know it, they're telling each other I love you without really having any idea who that person really is. And that's what I want. Have an opportunity to have a sit down with somebody that I feel that I might have a connection with, and really have an opportunity to get to know. I haven't really had that opportunity. Then again, I really haven't had an opportunity to really put myself out there yet. But that's something I'm going to definitely be working on. But one step at a time. All in divine right timing. Yeah. And speaking of divine right timing, found my candle. It's like I knew where all my cards were. I'm going to forego doing yoga today. I really want to do a spiritual session. I had found my smudge bowl. And I have some leftovers here of smudge sticks. I like to burn them down as much as I possibly can before doing another one. So waste not, want not, and also better for the environment as well. So I got a whole bunch here, and I found my candle, and it's like in some ways I was really trying to find it, but I couldn't find it, and I'm like, I know I could have sworn I put it in this one box that I haven't really unpacked all that much just yet. I have my reasons, which I'm not going to go into. But that and I knew I had that in my lighter, and for whatever reason, I just absolutely couldn't remember where I put it. And divine right timing, bam, popped in my head. I know it's in that box, and sure enough, there was my candle and the bowl I keep it in. I would prefer to, so that way we don't have issues with wax, possibly setting something on fire or whatever. It's like, okay, there we go. Just an old bowl that I use. I have tons of them. And then found my lighter, and I was just like, I bet I put the lighter in with that stuff. Sure enough, there it all was. So I'm going to definitely see about doing a tarot session today, and have an opportunity to go through and smudge around here a little bit too. I think that's also important. I haven't had a chance to do that, primarily because I couldn't find my candle or my lighter. I'm going to do those today. So, yeah, looking forward to that. In the meantime, I'm also going to eat as I'm hungry and get me a shower. Oh, gosh, I know. But the way I look at it is it's helping to get my energy around here a little bit, help clear out some. Yeah, I definitely, earlier part of the week would first moving in, had some weird dreams, and I know it was the energy that I was picking up that was left over in here. So it's like, okay, that's one of the reasons why I kept trying to find my candle and my lighter so I could go around and smudge a little bit, but unfortunately they were eluding me. But now I can do that. So anywho, that's my plan for today, and also get myself back to work. I definitely need to see about doing that. I know. Exciting times. I'm glad actually that I did do that. I've been holding off because opening up some other boxes a little bit later on after being settled a little bit. It's like, yeah, helps with the excitement. Helps with that drive. Keep things going. Keep things rolling. So, anywho, I hope you all have a great... Ren Fair is this weekend over at Sunset Park. Most definitely. Go check that out. Actually, a friend of mine she's part of a group of ladies called Witch's Kitchen. Go check out their booth. They're over in the blacksmith area. Also, another friend of mine, he posted yesterday that his new music video is going to be coming out next Friday. His name is Mandy Lion. I'm not too sure if he's still under his group, World War III. You might remember him, us Gen Xers might remember him from way back in the day. He doesn't put out new stuff all too terribly often. But he's more on the grungy side of music. Grunge before Rob Zombie, even. Kind of that transition between heavy metal going into grunge during that time period. So yeah, but he posted yesterday. His video is coming out. New video coming out next week. New music. Yay! Happy, excited. I have a quite varied musical interests. Grunge, oldies, classical. Classic rock, flower power, 80s, new wave, heavy metal, big band jazz, love me some Frank Sinatra, yeah, so and of course Native American flute music. So anyway, yeah, go check him out. And also, next weekend, go check out Renovation Foundation. They are going to be doing a fundraiser here in Vegas. They basically based out of Reno, but they're going to be doing a fundraiser here. It's 3 events. There's you can golf with your favorite celebrities, play poker. I think they're doing Texas Hold'em. I think it's a $300 buy-in and $20,000 grand prize. Definitely, you can see about doing that. That's being held at the Venetian. The golf tournament is out at Bears Best, out there on the west side of town. And then there's also a celebrity concert. That I know that is definitely Sunday night, and I know the poker tournament is Saturday night. I don't remember when the golf tournament is. Whether it's I think that's Saturday as well, because I believe they also have something special going on earlier in the day on Sunday. Basically, the Renovation Foundation helps with give foster kids and kids who aren't as advantaged opportunities to basically help them with their growth and education and so forth. So they're doing really, really good work. It was founded by Jeremy Renner. It's ran by his sister, Kim. So yeah, definitely. I've been following them. They've been doing some really, really great work, and it's my understanding they're doing something kind of special for some of the kids here in the Vegas area earlier in the day before the concert. So definitely, tickets are still available for all those events and so forth. So definitely, go check those out. You can go to their website. I know their IG account is Official Renovation Foundation, so you can get the link to their website through there. So anyway, gotta go. My 30 minutes is definitely past. I love you guys. I will talk at you soon.